When I graduated from college, my girlfriend and I got married. I moved to her city to work and live together. At first, our life seemed very good. We had a home and a partner who supported each other. However, soon after, we started to argue a lot over small things. It was all about the little things in life, but it made our relationship strained. My girlfriend thought that I was not considerate enough. She felt that I didn't understand her feelings and didn't care about her needs. I, on the other hand, think she is not considerate enough because I came to live and work in her city for her. We would often argue over these issues, but never found a solution. After 2 years, we finally chose to divorce. The relationship was a failure for me. This incident also hit me very hard. I felt very lost and depressed. In order to start over, I decided to go back to my hometown. When I returned home, I felt very depressed. There was nothing I wanted to do and I stayed at home all day. 3 months passed and my mood didn't improve much. I was still living this life without any direction or goal. Later, my father found a job for me in an automobile manufacturing plant. Although this job was not the career I once dreamed of, I decided to give it a try. When I first started working, I felt very uncomfortable. The job was very hard, requiring long hours of standing and operating machines. After the first month of work, I made a serious mistake. When I was operating the machine, I didn't pay attention to a small detail, which caused a problem with the car parts. The leader found out the problem and criticized me. At that time, I felt very embarrassed and sad. I felt like a loser. After work, I was in a very low mood, so I drove alone to the lake. I bought some food and wine on the way, hoping to numb my emotions with alcohol. I parked my car and found a quiet place to sit down. I opened the bottle and started drinking. Soon I had drunk half a bottle of vodka. I felt a little dizzy in my head. I was yelling at the lake, trying to get my emotions to explode. I felt like such a failure in my life. I couldn't control my emotions anymore. I didn't know what I was thinking, I just felt so desperate. I even began to think about suicide, thinking that such a life was not worth continuing. I saw the deep lake and thought I could choose to jump in and end it all. Under the effect of alcohol, I jumped into the lake. At the moment I jumped into the lake, I felt an indescribable feeling. The temperature of the lake was low, which made me instantly sober. I began to struggle to swim back to the shore, but my whole body had no more strength to struggle. As I slowly sank to the bottom of the water, a bright light appeared behind me. This light was so warm. As the light got closer to me, I saw a life form inside. I knew it was an angel. The light from him reassured me, and he spoke to me in a soft voice, telling me that he was here to help me. I felt my body being gently wrapped around me. As I entered that light, I felt an indescribable sense of peace and warmth. This feeling was like nothing I had ever experienced before. I knew my body in the water was dead, but that no longer seemed to matter. Next, we appeared in a dark tunnel. The tunnel was so deep that we were descending as fast as if we were in free fall. The size of the tunnel was getting bigger and bigger. As we descended, I began to hear some terrible screams. These screams were so horrible that they filled my heart with unease and fear. I began to imagine countless souls moaning in pain in this tunnel, and the screams seemed to be warning me. A huge crater suddenly cracked in the tunnel. The view inside the tunnel became more eerie and frightening. My eyes couldn't stand the searing heat. I could hear countless screams all around me, making my eardrums about to explode. In this sea of fire, I saw countless people trapped in it, screaming non-stop. Their skin was melting. In front of me, those black shadowy creatures crept closer to me. Their appearance disgusting and terrifying. Their eyes seemed to penetrate my soul. Their arms were covered with a thick layer of black scales, and their teeth were long and sharp. It was as if they were waiting for an opportunity to attack me. There was an unpleasant smell emanating from the place. It was full of stench and decay and made me want to vomit. The angel reassured me that you came here only as a witness to hell. As long as I am with you, no harm will come to you. I was still a little afraid that the angel would let go of my hand and leave me to face these horrible creatures on my own. I pleaded with the angel to take me out of that place, and we began to move upward quickly. We quickly returned to the light, and that peace and tranquility enveloped me once again. The angel told me, hell is one of the possible paths you can choose. Now I will show you another path that you can choose to take towards the light, to establish a deeper connection with God, and to pursue a more meaningful life. Next, the angel held my hand again and we came to the gates of heaven. I saw the gate shining with a golden light. The angel told me that only those who meet the requirements can enter heaven and asked me to try. I had just gotten close to the gate when I felt a strong force push me back. Although I couldn't see anything, something must have been preventing me from entering. Puzzled, I asked the angel, if I can't enter, why are we here? The angel told me that your soul still needs to experience some growth before you can enter heaven. You still have a lot to learn right now. At this time, I saw a group of people coming toward me. I was very excited because I recognized several of them, including my great-grandfather and great-grandmother. They were holding hands and looked younger and healthier than I remembered. They had happy smiles on their faces. As they drew closer, I noticed that one of my uncles was also beside them. As they stood in front of me, I felt a love like no other. They both extended their hands to me and I was enveloped in their embrace. They welcomed me with open arms. We had a short but warm conversation. In a soft voice, my great-grandmother told me that she had met Jesus upon entering heaven. He had guided her into this wonderful place. She also told me that everything is perfect here, everyone is very friendly, there is no quarrel or malice, only love and peace. Her words made me feel a joy that I had never felt before. This joy was not from outside, but from inner peace and happiness. I believed everything she said, because I could feel this joy outside the door, and I could imagine their lives inside. Finally, the angel said to me, "You must leave this place now." I said goodbye to my family and felt the loss in my heart. We were back in the light again. The angel told me that my fate was up to me and that everyone has the right to choose their own life. I asked the angel, what should I do next? What should I choose? The angel replied, you can choose to be a good person, or you can choose to follow another path. I asked curiously, what is the other path? It was a dark road that led to hell. The angel's words gave me a great revelation. The angel told me to live a good life and that he would always watch over me. Then the angel disappeared into the light. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself lying by the lake. I was confused and wondered how I had gotten to shore. I sat up and found that my clothes were soaked through. I remembered the angel. Could this have really happened? I decided to call my father first. I didn't want him to worry. I told him that I would not be coming home tonight. I knew that I was not in the right state to drive home. I adjusted my seat and prepared to sleep in the car for the night. The next morning, a warm sun shone on my face. After hearing the birds chirping, I realized I was alive and I felt like everything around me was brand new. I pushed open the car door and walked toward the lake. As I walked to the lake, I realized how beautiful and peaceful my surroundings were. The sun was shining on the lake, emitting a golden glow. The surrounding meadow had some wild flowers in bright and beautiful colors. It was a perfect morning. I took a deep breath of the fresh air and felt very happy. I sat by the lake, closed my eyes, and felt the beauty of the morning. This experience made me deeply realize the preciousness of life. I decided to cherish my life more and pursue the life I want more diligently. I thought of the mysterious angel, and I was very grateful to him. I stood up and went back to the car. My mood became more cheerful and positive. I thought about how I was going to change my life to make it more fulfilling and meaningful. It was a new beginning. It was also a new challenge. It's been 12 years since this event. It is still very clear in my memory. I vividly remember every detail and every conversation. The experience of that night was a turning point in my life. It made me re-examine my way of life and the meaning of life. After that experience, I decided to stop drinking because I realized that alcohol didn't bring me anything meaningful. 5 years ago, I met my current wife. I still remember clearly the scene when I first met her. I was praying in church when I suddenly felt someone appear beside me. I looked up and saw a beautiful lady with a warm glow in her eyes. We smiled at each other. After the prayer, we started talking. We had both experienced divorce. We began to talk about each other's experiences and our views on life. In that moment, I felt a special connection between us. We exchanged contact information and started our dating. We understood and supported each other, and we built a wonderful family together. Now we have an adorable son who is the most precious gift in our lives. We create wonderful memories together and face the challenges and difficulties in our lives together. I am grateful for everything I have experienced because they have made me the person I am today. I hope that the next time I go to heaven, I will be allowed to enter that gate.